All right, so we are back at it again, another Why
Yeah,
Wednesday with
yes.
Loris Financial and the magnificent Mia. Mia, thank you so much for being available.
Oh, of course, anytime. I love these Y Wednesdays. It's so fun. Just like, we talk casually, keep everyone informed of what's going on. Doesn't have to be too formal, right? So it's just great.
Well, you just talked about being informed, and that's actually the topic for today, which is why, and the why is all around postings of staying informed of the laws. Now, next week we will be talking about the laws that people should be aware of in 2025, but let's talk about posting those actual laws now. Walk
Right.
me through, and you brought this up, and I want to go about it in two kind of directions. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. The first one was engagement, and the second one was education. So it's kind of a choose your own path. Which one did you want to talk about first when it comes to post?
Educate first so they understand the whys and then they can get engaged, right?
Okay, so let's talk about the expectations around employers posting and
Mm.
what that means for the
Yeah.
employer, for the organization.
Well, posting requirements in the workplace, as we all know, it's a way for employers or businesses to keep employees informed. Usually, it's kept in a break room. It's usually kept in a place where there's a lot of traffic, and they have time to ponder the beautiful wall full of labor law regulations. I'm sure that's not something that they want to see, and sometimes it's super long. Like they don't even have time to kind of like read through it, right? But we want them to have different means of communication or resources that they can get those information from, even if it's sometimes not readily available from their managers or supervisors. At least there's different forms. But one thing there, the legal obligation as well for the posting of these requirements in the workplace, which I'm talking about labor posters, employment and labor law posters, right? It's because laws do keep changing, and you don't want to be posting incorrect information or outdated laws on there. And that can be a potential harm and liability for your companies. And then your employees are actually getting incorrect information. And then next thing you know, you want to write them up or you want to terminate them from something. But hey, you know what? You're also not being compliant, right? So I guess practice what you preach, walk your talk. So,
There's when in our last conversation that we had, it was all around communication and keeping employers up to date. And this was around wage and hour, so it was communication, it was staying compliant. And I also noticed another trend when it comes to, and I know this is one of your big things that you're shouting from the rooftops here, Mia, is communication. So we're talking about communication as it pertains to education, and
mm-hmm.
I'm wondering because I can totally relate to the idea of something being posted in the break room and not even paying it any attention or any mind. It's just there, and it'll probably be the last thing I look at next to the ingredients list on my
Yeah,
microwavable burrito. So
exactly.
how do we shift from education, which is absolutely important from a compliance standpoint,
Uh-huh.
to employee engagement around these postings?
Okay, first and foremost, it's a law. You know, you have to like have it on there. That's one thing. Sometimes like, oh my gosh, it's required. I have no choice, right? But also how to keep employees engaged. As you mentioned, no one wants to stare at like what are they even reading? Not everyone may be well versed in regards to what's actually being written in those employee labor posters. And one thing for sure is like usually we have those education and engagement during onboarding when we onboard a new hire, a new employee, but also ongoing, right? Because these laws change. You don't want it to just be when they're just onboarded or during a new hire orientation. You need to be able to have a platform in place or have that connection with employees in regards to making it more engaging, letting them know, giving trivia questions, right? Having trivia or like making it more of like a competition. In this way, they get more engaged where it doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, like the poster requirements. Now I have to look at it because I know next week we're gonna have a pop quiz and I'm gonna be asked a question in regards to what's on that labor poster, right? And so now it will really drive them, give motivate them to really read it, right? Not everyone wants to read it unless they have to. And so why can't we make it fun? Let's make it fun. Now you have to, but it's going to be for a fun purpose. You're not reading it because you have to, because now you want to make a claim or there's a potential claim that can arise, right? So yeah, making it fun, making it engaging, because it's knowing the whys. Everyone is more engaged when they know the whys. Hence the reason of our episodes is the why Wednesdays, right? We want to educate them, we want to let them know the why it's important, but also in a way twist it around, make it fun so that it retains in their long-term memory. So yeah, pop quiz, trivia questions, make it kind of like a competition. At the end of the day, this is what's going to benefit them, letting them know the pros on it too, where it's not all bad, right? And there's a reason why we have it in place. There's a reason why it's a law. And there's a reason why we have posting requirements. So that's one thing to keep in mind too.
I think about some of the practical action items for employers is around education and engagement. The education portion is in a common space, particularly a break room, and then in the engagement portion of it, with regards to the education, is almost in a sense what you're talking about of gamifying it, which is a very unique perspective. I haven't thought about it from that way, so that's super helpful. Well, I know we're coming to a close here. Thank you so much, Mia,
Of
for
course.
being available and for sharing your insights. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you.
Of course. I appreciate you too. Thank you.
Awesome. See you in the next one.
All right.